And welcome, gamers! I am back once again doing another live stream and recording of classic gameplay. This time I'm playing the Intellivision. The Intellivision is a console that was released in the late 70s by Mattel, Mattel Electronics specifically. Mattel Electronics was a new division founded by Mattel specifically to do the Intellivision and the games for it. It's kind of an odd console. It uses controllers that look like this, and I mean exactly like this, because this is literally what I'm going to be using to play. It's got this weird dial down here at the bottom, which actually works as a D-pad. You can rotate the dial, but I haven't found a game yet that actually uses that as if it were a pedal. You also have a numeric keypad here, and on the side you have two buttons, action buttons, and on the other side you have the same two action buttons to do the same thing on both sides. So you can hold it left or right-handed. Also, a lot of the keypad buttons have specific functions in specific games, and to allow for that, a lot of the game boxes, which I have here, the game that I'm playing right here is Star Strike. I have the box right there. You open it up, and on the one side, that's where the game cartridge goes, and on the other side is where the manual goes and the controller overlays go. And so I have one of those overlays for Star Strike right here. I don't know how well you can see that, but it has the name of the game at the top, and it has indications as to what will happen when you push in that particular spot. The different locations on here line up with buttons on the keypad when you actually put the overlay into the controller. And I'll see if I can show you that. The controller is actually, the cord for this is very short, and they're hardwired into the system, and you know how much I love that. So I'm trying not to stretch this too much to get it up into the shot here. But you take the overlay and you slide it into the top. I don't know if you can see that, but there's actually a ridge there, and you slide it in underneath that. So I will put in the overlay for Star Strike here. See, it slides in the top right there, and then you kind of muscle it down in like that. And the bottom of it gets stuck on the bottom of this thing here, so you kind of have to weasel with it a little bit there too. But there, it's in all the way. Once it's in all the way, you actually can't slide it back out easily because there's a little lip up here that holds it into place, and that's actually a good thing, because while you're pushing these buttons you could slide the overlay around, and that would be pretty annoying if the overlay just came out of there while you were playing. So anyway, looks like the functions for Star Strike are Warp 1, Warp 2, and Warp 3, and it has a couple of things that are more stars that are not labeled as warp, but I assume that that's warp 5 and warp 6. I guess there's no warp 4. So lasers are the top buttons on the side, which would be that button right there, and bombs are the lower button right there. That's according to what it says on the edges of the overlay right there. And then pointing down at the bottom at the disc says direction. So I played this game for a little bit before, to not just number one to make sure it worked, and number two because I got an Intellivision and I wanted to try it out a little bit first. But this is mostly something I've never played before. So you hit basically any button to start these games. They all start up with a title screen like this. At least the officially licensed games do. So hit a button to start the game, and here we go. So I control that blue ship in the middle that's going towards the bottom that just crashed into the bottom there. And the idea here is, I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do. I'm not sure how to respawn in this either. That's what eventually happens every time. That red disc-shaped bomb at the bottom shows up, and it flies at the Earth and destroys it, and then the only way to get out is to reset. So let's reset. I guess maybe you only have one life, but it seemed like I figured out how to respawn before. God damn it. You can also press the dial or the disc on the controller like a button. Now for the time, this is actually quite advanced graphics. Because you see it's got this pseudo 3D perspective going on. It has background elements, it has the stars back there, it has the score counter ticking down at the top. And you can see my shadow there on the bottom. One thing that seems to be kind of strange about this is that I don't seem to be able to go forward and backward, but maybe that's what you use the keypad buttons for. I'm pushing some of those now, but nothing's happening. I just got blown up. Originally, I thought maybe there was a way that you could shoot behind you as well as forward, which would mean that you wouldn't need to be able to move forward and backward. I couldn't figure out a way to do that. As you can see, my bombs are incredibly slow to drop. If you watch this, I'll actually push, and there it goes. That little white rectangle falling right there. This D-pad, or this circle pad, is actually very, very awkward to use as a D-pad. I'm sure if I play this enough, I can actually get the hang of how it feels, how the tactile feedback works. I noticed that those other guys, they turn white. Now, I don't know if that's because I'm hitting them. It looks like they're actually able to grab onto me with a tractor beam, too. And did you hear that crackling noise that it did for a second there? It might do it again if I fire enough shots. It seems to be that you only have a finite amount of shots that you can fire. If you fired too many, then it starts crackling at you, which is not much of a sound effect. This may actually be the best I've ever done. I think I might actually be doing this correctly. And imagine that stream's fucking up. Try my initial trick, which sometimes seems to work, of refreshing my preview page. And that does seem to have helped. I don't know why that helps. But it's a lot more responsive than changing the quality of the stream and then restarting it. Oh, and look at that. I lost the fucking thing anyway. Somehow the Earth still blew up. Anyway, so I'm not exactly sure what you're supposed to do in this game. It did come with the manual. I guess I could read that. But at the same time, I kind of like just dropping in. Or just jumping into the game. See what I can do. See, that's weird. I am seeing some consistency here. Where if I, like, line up directly with the other things and then fire a shot, then they change colors and fly off the screen. I'm not sure if that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but it definitely seems to mean that I am not dead. Is that where I'm supposed to drop a bomb on them, maybe? Like I freeze them with the laser and then I bomb them? Let's see if I can do that. No! Okay, I just dropped a bomb and it went right through the guy. So I guess that doesn't matter. Don't stop grabbing me. It also keeps beeping at me, but I don't know what that... Oh shit. I just saw the red disc thing fly by. Maybe that means it's gonna show up soon. See, there it's crackling at me. You can even see in the video where it crackles a little bit too. So I guess you have a finite number of shots per wave of these guys. I also just found out that if I shoot them once they turn white, and if I shoot them again, they explode. I don't know why it does that. Why it does that crackling thing. Maybe that's the system fucking up. It is getting awfully hot. It's actually sitting on my lap right now because the controller cords are so short. But it does seem to continue working. But I am starting to legitimately get afraid of fire hazard here. Because yeah, that is extremely hot to the touch. Stop doing that! Yeah, bitches. This is the longest I've lasted, though. Oh shit, there goes the bomb, there goes the Earth. I don't know what causes that to happen. It just kind of does it. Hey, we have Kilogast watching. He says, worst Star Fox ripoff ever. There was actually a number of games made around this time that had this kind of visual in them, and believe it or not, one of them was on the Atari 2600. I think I've played enough Star Strike here. I think I get it, that I don't get it. So, even the cartridge is a little warm after playing that. Hopefully I can play the rest of the games on my list here without the system exploding. Next game we're going to play is Donkey Kong, one of the most widely ported games of that era, and it was actually ported by Coleco, if you can believe it, or at least published by Coleco. Coleco did the unique thing of making game cartridges for their own console and for other consoles, which really pissed off Atari and Mattel, because of course Atari and Mattel wanted to make all the cartridges themselves so they could get all the profit for themselves. Eventually, Coleco won suit in court, at least for the creation of the Atari 2600 expansion for the ColecoVision, because the judge ruled that Atari could not sell Coleco because the Atari 2600 was created using all off-the-shelf parts that anybody could buy. So Coleco just bought those same parts and built the expansion. Anyway, let's play Donkey Kong here. Looks like I paid 99 cents for this. Pretty damn good deal, I think. If I can jam this thing in here. Squeak! It squeaks a little bit when it goes in, as those pins contact the card edge on the cartridge. Yay, it works. Keeligos says, boo, man did not evolve from apes. Apes are a myth perpetuated by the liberal media. Now, you can't be a troll when I know who you are. That's not going to work. Okay, so I don't have an overlay for this game. So, I did play it a little bit, though. And it seems to be self-explanatory. Players 1, level 1, and enter. Oh god, did you see the crackling in the video while it was playing the music there? Okay, so instantly there are many, many differences. Number 1, the actual gameplay area on the screen is smaller. There is no specific sound for when you get the hammer, and there's no specific animation for when you hit something with the hammer. The disc part of the controller is used for moving Mario left to right and up and down ladders. It's actually quite playable. Keeligos says, if I was trolling, I'd say stupid shit like, quote, Hitler was a hero. Now, if you were a modern-day troll, then what you would say is, your hair is stupid. So, as you can see, it looks like we skipped directly to the last level in the game. And there's only 2 little flame things at a time, so that's actually very helpful. That makes the game a lot easier. And we go back to level 1. I guess maybe it's going to get harder now. I also kept my score from the last playthrough. So far, of all the versions of Donkey Kong that I've played, I would, of course, prefer the NES version. But that can't really be compared to these because that was a different console generation. But of the ones that I've played on consoles that are this age, I might say the ColecoVision version. But this one is certainly less frustrating. It actually controls quite well. Stupid flame thing, that's fine. If you want to go down there and get out of my way, that's perfectly alright with me. And there I go, I beat the game again. Killigast says, you mean Super Jumpman. I don't think he was quite super at this point. He was just called Jumpman. We have someone new in the chat that I haven't seen before, unless I'm forgetting. Their name is Zero Korean, perhaps. They say hi, so hello to you too. Welcome to the stream. And of course, Killigast says, your hair is stupid. Nerd, he also says. Okay, so I think we get this. This is Donkey Kong. Not a bad port. Plays pretty well, controls pretty well. Thoroughly unfrustrating, I'll put it that way. Next game I'm going to play here is called Auto Racing, and I have this in the box. Just like the other box. Has a game cartridge on one side, the manual and the overlays in the other. I do have 2 overlays for this game, just like I did for Star Strike. So put the game in the system, and put the overlay in the controller. Show you what the overlay looks like. I don't know if you can see that, but shows what a few of the buttons do, and shows a little drawn car there at the bottom, so it's kind of nice. Zero Korean says Pac-Man next. I would play Pac-Man if I had it. The games that I'm actually playing on this live stream I've listed in the description. This is game number 3 of 4, Auto Racing. Select course, I guess I'm going to say 1. Enter. Select cars, I guess I'm going to say 1. And enter. Now here's the weird part that I couldn't figure out in my initial testing, and I actually had to look in the manual to figure out how to do this. Because I pushed all the buttons at this point on the controller and couldn't get into the game. So apparently what you're supposed to do next is you're supposed to push enter on controller 2. And that starts the game. Doesn't make any sense, but here we go. This is actually graphically very impressive for the time. It's scrolling, which not very many games did at the time. The graphics are not all that blocky, like the edges of the course are somewhat smooth. Whenever it goes to corners, it doesn't just get all jagged going down. As you can see, I'm very good at driving off of the course. This car turns really, really slowly. And what do I do? Let's go game. Okay, here we go. Whoa, shit. I pressed down on the disc and that was like a super ultra right turn. So, okay. Learning stuff here. Apparently there's not an equivalent to a super ultra right turn to the left. Now, I'm trying to get out of this water right here. There's no accelerator in this game. All there is brake. Otherwise the game just kind of goes on its own. Oh, get on the course, damn! Hit a bush that time. Zero Korean says, what if you corrupted the game by mistake? Corrupted what game? Donkey Kong? The last game, the game I was playing whenever you said that, maybe? Or what if I corrupted the game and somehow got a version of Pac-Man? Is that what you're saying? Killigast says, my house! Yeah, I'm good at hitting houses too. Killigast says, my, bush? Zero Korean says, this is a road to 50 subscribers. Well, I don't know if you're trolling or if you actually mean that, but if I got 50 subscribers, I would actually be pretty happy. I don't know how many I have now. I might actually have 50 already. He also says, get it road. Yeah, I do get it. Oh, the puns. There do seem to be checkpoints here because I started out at a different part on the course and I started out facing a different direction, so that's good. I do wonder if some of the other cars that you can select from, if those actually may control differently. Like maybe there's ones that can turn faster. anyone watching happens to know how to control this game better, I would like to know that. So say something in the chat or post a comment. Not a whole lot to say here. You know, I'm getting the hang of it, sort of. Ah, Keeligos says 44 saith the thingy, so I guess I have 44 subscribers. He also says the game really picks up when you find the lines of Hare Krishna walking along the side of the road. I don't know what that means. He also says, get good. Har har har. Well, this is how you do it. This is how you get good. Ah, shit. Now see, the strange thing is that, the controls change depending on which direction you're facing. Well, actually, they don't change, but your orientation changes in relation to the camera, so that makes the controls somewhat counterintuitive. Like, right now at this angle, to go to the right, or to go down that corner, to actually go that direction, I'm pushing right to actually turn the car to the right. So you kind of have to watch where the nose of your car, which direction it's pointing, which isn't hard because that's the direction you're going. And then remember that to turn right, you always push right, no matter which direction you're actually going. Ugh. Now this game mode, whenever you're playing one player, you're supposed to be racing against the clock, but I don't see a clock anywhere. Maybe they didn't have the memory for that. Maybe I'll just eventually inexplicably lose. Zero Green says, not my bush. Well, too bad, I'm hitting your bush. Okay, there's a bit of a new strategy. If I'm off the road, I can brake, and that somewhat helps me to turn better. Oh shit, there's a corner. Oh shit, I spun out! Damn. Okay, Keeligust says, the original GTA, Grand Theft Auto, had lines of Hare Krishna you could hit for tons of points. Money, whatever the point of the first GTA was. Okay. Yeah, because the very first Grand Theft Auto was actually in this perspective. I do remember that. Keeligos says you have to supply your own stopwatch. Like with the original Odyssey, where you had to supply all of these off-screen elements, like the system came with scorecards for you to keep score yourself. It came with overlays you actually stuck to the TV to provide a background, even though it's technically a foreground. Keeligust says, I know Zero. Did you lure someone to my channel? If so, thank you. I apologize for not giving that person better content. No, I don't. I don't care. I do what I want and I have fun doing it. I'm actually getting kind of bored with this, so I want to see what I can do to it to try and do the wrong thing. Play the game like I'm not supposed to. I'm going to hit this house. Bam! Man, I got far into that house before it registered an impact. That's like driving through the wall and ending up in the kitchen, and then your car crumples up. Oh well, I think we get this. Zero says thank you for happy face. Aw. Unless that is a lie. You can never be quite too sure who's trolling you on the internet. 7%. That is the amount of communication that is spread through text. Communication is reduced to 7% of the overall meaning. The rest of it is tone and body language and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I think we get auto racing. This one's actually in a slightly different box. It's not all cardboard. The game cartridge goes in this weird plastic insert. And that insert fell out earlier when I was trying to put the cartridge in there. That's that sound that you heard. That sound that went. That sound. So, that is auto racing. The final game I'm going to play here, which I'm praying still works, is Pitfall. I had to really finesse this game into working whenever I was testing it. And look at that, it doesn't work. I'm going to try. I do not give up easily. Come on, bitch. So this is how you know it's not a fucking emulator. You have to deal with the problems of the original hardware. Reset, reset, reset. Nothing. Ah, there we go. It works. Okay, Pitfall. I don't have an overlay for this either, or a box or anything. Also notable is that since it is an Activision game, that of course means that they produce their own cartridges. And that is no exception for the Intellivision. That's what an Activision cartridge looks like. It's got weird grippy things on the side there, which is actually kind of helpful because pulling the cartridges out of the systems is a little bit of an ordeal. Once they're in there, they really want to be in there. Now let's pray it still works. Let's pray, fingers crossed. No! You supernatural dick. Ah, yes. I think I've discovered a trick to getting this to work. Whenever I push the cartridge in, if I push it up against the left edge of the cartridge slot, and then push it in that way, I guess the pins line up a little bit better on the inside. Anyway, so here we go. This is Pitfall. Bloop. Looks pretty similar to what I've seen in the various versions so far. It animates smoother than the Atari 2600 version. I think it might be a little higher resolution. Yes, I can jump over both of those logs at once. Nice. Miss. You don't die from the logs, though. It just costs you score. Little Tarzan jingle there. Get off the thing! Get off the... there. Okay, I just learned that the bottom button is not the same as the top button in this game. You have to push the top button to jump. Oh, fuck! I jumped on that thing early. Zero says, I love adventures. Yes, let's go on an adventure sometime. No homo. Killigost says, Activision. I sense good things to come from these boys and girls. Yeah, maybe. Seem like they got a bright future ahead of them. Oh, damn it. I'm really not good at this part. That's probably game over right there. How do we restart? Reset, that's how. Did you see what it did there? It like said Pitfall for a second again, and then it went away. Maybe that's the game overriding some kind of bizarre Mattel lockout functionality. I could have jumped on that. Come on. God. It's difficult to get off this thing. I'm trying to still avoid those logs, too. It's a good thing I can swing on this forever. Damn it. Oh, I pushed the other button to get off of the vine. That's its specific function. Because I guess I would need to be able to jump while I'm on the vine. Oh, piss! If I hadn't blown that last jump, I would have made it. Fuck. Ah, yes! Now get over here and walk right into a log. Jump down the hole on purpose to avoid those logs there. Ah, yes. There's a snake over there. And I remember from playing the ColecoVision version of this game that snake is instant death. So run, 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 run. Made it past the hole. Oh shit! Missed the vine, jumped into the water. Let's try it again. Let's go left this time, because I'm pretty sure that this just wraps back around. It doesn't matter which direction you go. There's a set number of screens in the game. They're not randomly generated, I don't think. And I start out on the other side, huh? Well, that's actually quite helpful. Okay, this might be tricky. Let's start at the edge of the water here. Wait for it to appear so that I get maximum distance. And there we go. This might be where I got to before. No, it's not, because I don't remember that thing. Does that kill me? Yes. I guess that's a fire. And there's the snake. So, no, that's a different snake. Because the other snake was on a screen with a vine and a hole. So we still haven't repeated yet. Oh, that was stupid. That wasn't the right timing. So that's all my lives. I'm going to give this another shot. This time I think I'm going to go try and explore on the bottom some more. I already know that I can't go down and to the right because that brick wall is going to block me. Keelagust says, when do you get the Dagger of Time? I don't actually know what that's from. It's not a Zelda thing, I don't think. Let's go. Now that's something I like right there. I can run at the same rate as the log. In other words, as long as I'm running, the log can't catch up to me. I'm a firm believer that any obstacle in a game that can kill or otherwise damage you, you should be able to outrun. Okay, let's go down right here. See what happens down here. Probably death. Oh yeah, there's a scorpion down here. Can I jump over it? Yes, I can. Now I have to go back up because there's a wall in the way. That's an identical room back to back. Come on, guys. I know you had limited space, but that's almost identical too. I'm wondering, I'm seeing similar screen elements in these screens, so I'm wondering if to save space they didn't actually place everything you see here on an area on the cartridge, within the cartridge, that's as big as the screen, if the screen data for each screen actually consists of something simpler, such as the screen has a ladder in the middle, and then the game figures that out on the fly. See, like this one has a ladder in the middle and a brick wall in the lower left. Oh shit, there's more of this. Piss! Zero says, rest in peace. Jeremy fell in a hole and died. I think that's a reference to something, isn't it? It sounds familiar. Money! Yes! I got a treasure. Now, one thing that I don't know about is what is the win condition of this game? Is it to collect all the treasure? Within the time limit, obviously. I know that's death, so I'm jumping over it. Ooh, shit. That just kind of opened up suddenly. Piss. Just waiting for the water. And got hit by a log. This is kind of an odd turn of events. This is like the first side perspective game that I've ever played where I actually do a better job going to the left instead of the right. There's another treasure. Yes. That was kind of close. Oh, did I make it all the way around? Because that looks like repetition to me. If so, then there's one more treasure. There's that gold bullion, which I think is this way. Ow. Oh god, more of this. Fuck! Fuck it. Use the trick. What would the speedrunners called that? Death warp, probably. Use the death warp. Come on, where's that gold? Okay, I don't remember seeing this combination before. So maybe it hasn't looped back around yet. I don't remember seeing this either. Maybe there's more screens in this game than I thought. Including duplicate screens back to back. Triplicate screens back to back. This one finally has a vine. Now that I have some stuff, let's go touch that wall and see if it busts. Nope. Definitely doesn't like me going in there. Pitfall Harry just about farts himself to death trying to go through the wall. Zero says bye. Does that mean you're leaving, or you are saying goodbye to me in the game? Because I died. Piss. Well, that's the end of that. That was my last life. So, I think that's the end of what I'm doing here. So that's Pitfall on Intellivision. I have a shit ton of additional games. Many of them in boxes, in fact. I was surprised how easy it was to find boxed Intellivision games locally. I have, let's see, 4, 8, 10 boxed Intellivision games, and as far as loose games goes, I don't know, probably like a dozen on top of that. I also have the Intellivoice voice synthesis module, and I have one of the games that is made to work with that, so I will definitely do that on a future live stream. And hopefully, I think the voice from the IntelliVoice comes out of a speaker that's actually on the module rather than through the normal game audio output. So I'm hoping that the microphone will be able to pick that up whenever I play with that. So anyway, for the people that are watching on the recording, this is the end of the recording. I definitely have more Intellivision games on the way, and I'm going to show off the IntelliVoice. So it's going to be fun next time I do this. So see you then.